when we were in marriage ministry, the couple, the oldest couple that had been married the longest, she said, for the first 15 years, I was miserable. I was like,
and she said it with fervor.
Oh my goodness. And he said it like, and he sat there like, yeah.
Even the guests that they brought in to talk about stuff.
Oh my
their lives
goodness.
Was worse.
Oh,
it was like it was like reality TV.
It was like
stuff.
Let's see who can come in here and talk about the worst marital situation and talk about how we use the Lord to overcome it.
Oh. And then I remember
because not encouraging.
It wasn't encouraging. It's so funny because when we first got married, a lot of the people that were that had been married that long talked like that.
Yeah,
you know, it was like they were miserable. It's not going to be happy.
Yeah,
it was like. Really? Is that what's going?
And 5, 4, 3.
Action.
Welcome back. I'm Heath.
I'm Bernie.
And it's the Heath and Bernie show. Yeah. How y'all doing?
Hey y'all. We back.
We are Heath and Bernie, a Black Christian married couple, been married 25 years, and we be traveling together and going places together.
And we live together. Remember, you always say that.
We be living together.
We be living together?
Yeah, for 25 years.
Yep, 25 long years.
So we are back with another show. And how you doing, Bernie?
I'm doing good.
How's this retirement life feeling for you?
Retirement life is wonderful. It's wonderful, and everybody should do it. I love it.
Yeah.
I probably can't even remember all the stuff I was doing. I mean, when I say remember, you know how when, like I told one of my coworkers, I said, if you need anything, you could call me, but make sure it's in the recent months because I'm not going to remember nothing.
Right.
And now,
Bernie don't like, oh, go ahead.
If they call me, I was like, I don't know. I don't remember what I did, how to do whatever. And
the thing about y'all retired people is y'all think that going out during the day and people actually being out in traffic is in your way.
I don't understand.
Why is that?
Because,
why do you think that people who actually are doing things and going places are in your way when you need to go run some errands, go to the grocery store?
Because what I don't understand is when I was working, I was not out at 10 driving on the road or 11. Why ain't people at their desk? I don't understand.
I keep telling you, not everybody works in an office. People actually, like the dude who came by.
They should be at work. They should already be.
Dude
where
who
they
came
supposed
by
to be.
to fix the maintenance on the house today. He had to go to the store. He had to come here. He's out and about making runs.
I'm not talking about. He is actually in a handyman truck. These people, just regular people in the car. I don't understand why they're not at their desk. I was always at my desk 10, 11, 12. I mean, they not and a lot of people come out at 12 and I say, okay, that's why I don't like to go to the store, do nothing around 12 because people be out for lunch and they all up in my way.
Spoiled.
But at 10, 9, now I get up, try to go early, like 9, 10. Well, after traffic, I'm thinking y'all should be at y'all desk. I was not out here when I was working at that time.
That's because you work in an office. You work in the office.
Well, don't a lot of people work in the office?
No, not a lot of people work.
I thought that's where they going.
A lot of people work in an office, but some people go to the office and then they go out and then they go do stuff.
At 10, you should be at your desk. You should be deep into whatever.
They're actually going to a meeting or somewhere.
Meeting? They should be online at the darn meeting.
This is how
they are just in the way. I can't believe how many people be out on the streets like at 10, 11 o'clock.
I don't know if this
is so irritating. Why are they out there?
Or just retirement culture.
I don't understand
altogether.
why they're out there. I don't understand. No, most people I know used to say the same thing that are retired, and they were like, "There's so many people out in the way." Now I get it. It's like, what are they? But only reason I don't understand is because I was not out. I was at my what?
I don't understand why you don't understand that your job had you in the office and other people's jobs did not have.
But these don't look like worker people. These don't look like blue collar worker people. They just regular people in office attire. Who says you got to be blue collar worker people? Because you say they on their way to do to the garage, to the whatever.
They may be going to a meeting to someplace. They may be going to a meeting. Somebody maybe lawyers. Some people may be medical salespeople. They always got to travel. Some people's job requires travel for them to get in the car and go somewhere. That's what people do.
They need to move out of my way. They need to go later.
She's so spoiled. Can't stand her.
Anyway,
so what we talking about today? We are talking about the illusions of marriage. And Bernie came up with this topic. Go ahead, talk about it.
Well, I was online. I don't know what I was looking at, but I saw a topic and it said the illusion of marriage. And I said, that would be something good to talk about on the podcast because, I start thinking of out of all the people that we did relationship counseling, all the different myths and expectations.
Consulting. We're not relationship counselors.
Did I say counselors?
You said counselors.
I meant to say consulting. All the people we consulted over the many years. I just thought about all the different expectations and myths and illusions that they had about marriage, and it made me think about the ones we had in our marriage at the beginning. So I was like, that might be a good topic people want to hear about.
So we came up with some topics for
topics. We just said the topic.
Came up with some items. To discuss about the topic.
Oh,
my bad. Came up with some items to discuss about the topic, and that's what we want to share with you all. It did trigger me to bring up this one podcast that I started watching. It's a young Black couple. They are Christians. I think he's a minister. I don't know what she does in the church, but their podcast is called.
I'm laughing because you say, I think he's a minister. I don't know what she does or like who she is. But when I thought about who she is, just a little bit that I saw her, I feel like she's a freak, but she's proud about being a freak. She's happy about it.
Why did you call her a freak?
Because, okay, I didn't mean to do that, but she not, okay. She's like proud of.
She's maybe has a very active sexual
I don't mean a bad freak. I mean a freak. You know how they say, what's the thing?
She freaky?
Yeah, but
in the bed with her husband.
Like with the husband, like you be a something in the thing and then the freak with your husband. What do they say? A lady in the dinner and the freak in the marriage.
Yeah, lady in the streets and the freak in the bed, or a lady, yeah.
Something with the husband. I don't know. I feel like she's one of those because the way she talk about just sex and things.
Right. But anyway, the name of their podcast is What They Never Told Us. And I started watching them. That's their YouTube page. But I wanted to shout them out because they're a young couple. They have a podcast. They've only been married for a year. And I saw their content on Instagram. I saw a snippet on Instagram, and I was like, "This is really good," because it reminded me of us. Like they're doing a podcast. They have a kind of similar format where they're sitting down to microphones and they're talking about their relationship and stuff. But they're more so talking about like their relationship and just other stuff that they have experienced. And I sent them a very long message in Instagram to encourage them, hey,
that was
I
nice.
see what you're doing. I just want to let you know that I like what you're doing. You have some good content. You have quality content. Because they have nice lighting and cameras and stuff like that.
Oh Lord, that production stuff. He be looking at
so
everything.
I was like, they got nice quality content, and I wanted to encourage you, keep on doing good work because I'm a fan. I'm a new subscriber.
Did they
Yeah, so
respond?
They responded back to me, and
that was nice.
I just wanted to encourage them and let them know, hey, you're doing a good job. So I wanted to shout them out, even though their channel is bigger than ours, but still, I mean, we've been married much longer than they have, and I want to encourage young couples to pursue their goals and their visions that they want to pursue together, like we pursued ours. Like when we started.
But they've been doing this for a year?
I don't.
Their video. No, they've been married for a year.
They've been married for a year, but their video is.
You say they were married before, both of them?
Yeah, both of them were married before, and I think they had children from I don't know how many or from
previous
marriages. But yeah, if y'all
that's nice. They found
y'all
love
should go
again.
check them out. And if you comment on their page and comment on their videos, let them know that you heard about them from us. If you did hear about them from us, but their name of their podcast is called What They Never Told Us, and they're talking about like what other people never told them, or what church never told them, or what whomever never told them about marriage.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
right.
That's kind of okay.
And so I thought that was kind of cool for them to talk about that. And when you brought up the illusions of marriage, it made me think about what their podcast is about. So
okay,
we want to talk about that. So if you would please like and subscribe to our podcast, and if you're getting some good value from this, from the comments from the content that we are shooting, we'd appreciate that. I forgot to turn 2 lights on, and
I was gonna stop you also the fan because my nose started sweating. I was like, why am I sweating? And I looked over and I was like, there's no fan on.
Okay. Pause.
Action.
Welcome back.
You're not starting all over.
No, I'm not starting all over again. I'm just welcoming back because we had to take a pause for some what is it, production related issues. Okay, so how do you want to do this, Bernie?
I guess just go through the different illusions that the different top illusions that we think people have when they get married.
Okay.
Do you want me to go do my number one?
Yes, do your number one.
Okay. I'm gonna put my glasses on because
Yes.
I wrote them
you
down.
both need glasses.
I don't have my little thing like you. I gotta
Right.
find it. Okay, so number one is that in a marriage, after you get married, you think that you can actually be your 100 authentic self all the time.
Ooh, that was good. See, I'm glad you didn't tell me before. She was trying to tell me what they were. I was like, no, don't tell me. Just tell me. Just read them, and I want to react to them. That was good. To speak about it.
Yeah, I think when we get married, people get married. You think you get in this marriage, it's like, ooh, I'm gonna be 100% me, and that don't never work. But I feel like people get in a marriage, and I mean, even I can think about an example for when we first got married, and I was being my 100% authentic self,
Right.
and then that didn't fit the situation.
Not at all.
Like, for example, I used to come when I worked, I lived alone, lived in my own apartment, and I'm a homebody. When I get off work, I don't know, I'm not going nowhere. So I would just come home. By the time I come home, just relax. I thought, look at this one.
I know that, but I changed it so that you don't single on you. So if you're going to look at the camera.
So look at this one now?
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. He didn't tell me. Talking to y'all now. So when I would come home, after I get home, relax, I would just put on my pajamas because I ain't going nowhere.
Pause. You didn't get home and relax. You would get home, put on your pajamas, and then relax.
Well, that's all in the same thing to me.
But it wasn't, I'm going to get home, let me relax.
My relaxing
and then
was
put
putting on my pajamas.
It was get home, put your bag down, put your purse down, go into the room, change, and then come out.
I would put on comfortable clothes, which became my pajamas, and then relax and, whatever.
And this is like...
And that was my routine. And I tried that.
5 o'clock in the evening.
Well, it's whenever you get home from work. Because that's what I would do normally when I was single in my own apartment. And so I was just doing my regular routine. So he didn't like me putting on my pajamas and my, ladies, we wear our little bonnet.
No.
And I had all. He was like, so I was like, oh my gosh. So I got to get out of my routine. So I had that. I don't do that. I started having some, what I call inside clothes now that I do. Cause now.
Well, the reason
work.
why I did not like it is because I'm an outgoing person. I like being outside. I like going out.
Yep.
And so when we got home and she puts on her pajamas as soon as we get home, I'm talking about I haven't even gotten unwound or anything. That means that in her mind, we're not doing anything else tonight. We're going to go home and then we're in for the night.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sucks. No. So
that was my regular routine.
We had a little conversation about that.
Yeah.
And
but that was me being my authentic self. Also,
she still did it though. She still did it. She just didn't put on her pajamas right away.
Well, then I eventually got inside clothes that were comfortable.
That was not till later, but you still were like, come home and put on pajamas, but it wasn't like right as soon as you got home.
No, because this is all new. I got to gradually change. So, and then the other thing I remember is one of the other things that I did constantly. I don't do it as often now, just a little bit, just a little bit. Because I come from a family of 6. I'm the youngest. So we talk all the time over each other, in and out, get in when you fit in. I would constantly interrupt him because that was me being authentically Bernadette Walls, which is my maiden name. I was being me 100%. Well, that didn't work in this situation.
You've gotten better.
That's what I said. I've gotten better, and so I'm way better than I was before. Yeah. But that was just 2 examples where people and we've counseled people where they are just like trying to be 100% themselves.
We consulted with people we don't counsel.
Oh my gosh, why do I keep saying that?
We're not counselors.
I'm sorry. We consulted folks that were trying to be 100% their regular single self that they used to be, but you can't. That doesn't work in a marriage. You have to change that up a bit. What were you What were some of the things where you were trying to be yourself, authentic, 100% authentically Heath?
Yeah, actually, this is on one of mine where I thought that I could. Um, so I learned before I got married, I was hanging out with this guy who was married, and he had a very specific kind of unique relationship with his wife that allowed him some freedoms.
I didn't understand. When I came around, I was like, oh my gosh.
Can I tell my story, please?
Okay, I'm just sorry.
I did not understand that he had some freedoms to say and do some things around other women that I thought was normal because he normalized it and his wife didn't seem to mind. So I thought I can do that around my wife because I was hanging with him and he was older than me and he had been married for like 8 years at the time. So I was like, oh, this is what married folks do. And it's what I was doing. Actually, I had stopped doing some of that, but it was like, oh, I can do this in front of my wife and then be married. And so I tried it a couple of times and it didn't go over well. It didn't go over well. So I tried to, I thought, saying certain things about how women looked or, I didn't do anything inappropriate to the woman, but I did things that a married man should not do anymore to other women.
And I was very uncomfortable with that when we were in the presence of that other person, because we did couples things and we would be over the house.
Right.
I was always very uncomfortable when he talked because I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But his wife was just like chilling, and I was like, oh my God.
He was in a fraternity.
Would say some of the things, and I'd be like,
talk about those
why
fraternity
isn't she
days.
Reacting?
He'd be talking about those fraternity days, and then he would stop.
It was way too much. It was over the top.
Yeah, they're not married anymore.
Hey. I mean, I ain't happy about it. I'm just saying.
Hey, Bernie.
I ain't mean to do that. I ain't happy about it. It just explains a lot.
Yeah, they're not married anymore.
Anyway.
So that was one. But let me give one of mine.
Okay, one of yours.
So, okay. So when I was doing this, I look at it because, and we had a conversation, Bernie and I had a conversation about this the other day, about how when Bernie asks me questions, I don't give the answers that she's expecting me to give in the way that she's expecting, the way that she would give them.
We had this conversation when we was on the cruise and stuff too.
Yes.
It's the same. I know it's conversation.
Because when a question is asked of me, I look at it from the person who is the head, who's the leader, who is trying to figure out how to make stuff happen and how to make whatever we're going to do occur and make it smooth transition and process for you. However I need to maneuver and think about it. So I'm always in a strategic calculating kind of, okay, let me see how that's going to work. Okay. And so when she asks me a question, she'll ask me a question thinking I'm going to give it emotional or give some kind of, not emotional, that's the wrong word. Give some kind of like heartfelt, there we go, a heartfelt response. But I start being strategic and think about how I'm going to make that happen.
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. So when she asked questions about the illusions of marriage, I would immediately was thinking about, okay, from a leadership standpoint, what were my illusions of what I thought, how I could lead the family versus what actually ended up being the way that I led the family. And I think about it, and now that I think about it, a lot of men who struggle in their marriage, they struggle with how to lead their wives. Not that they don't have leadership ability, but how does that leadership transfer over into the marriage and for it to be successful? So that's the mindset that I came with. So I tried to like jump on your page and think like you, but I realized my name is Heath and I can't do that. Yeah, so I stuck with what I can think of. And so I wrote, so the illusion of marriage that I wrote down is the Lord will give you the answers to all your marital issues and those solutions will work. And what I mean by that is...
Yeah, what do you mean by that? But I kind of know, but go ahead.
What I mean by that is the Lord will sometimes, well, two things. Sometimes the Lord won't give you an answer. You got to get the answer yourself because he's giving you the ability to figure out what the answer should be. And so he withholds from you the answers so that you can have perseverance and and determination and drive and hunger and thirst for what God wants you to achieve and attain. And sometimes he won't give you that answer. He just got to let you bump your head or let you figure it out through blood, sweat, tears, and toil. And so sometimes, so when I was looking in the beginning, I was looking for like, okay, Lord, I need the answer for this. I need to figure out what I'm going to do about this or how we're going to do that. And I just didn't figure it out. And it was like, okay, what's the answer, Lord? I'm waiting for the answer because I need to know. And God was like, just keep on living. And the answers eventually came years later, but it wasn't like, okay, my illusion was when I asked God for the answer, he's going to give it to me right there so I know what direction to take. And that does not happen. It did not happen, I'll say, on all fronts. Sometimes he'll give you the answer, but more times than not,
he make you go through a process.
He makes you go through his process of how you are going to figure out that answer. And that's where a lot of guys, when they don't have the answers, and I see a lot of dudes, and I've been that dude that is that has a decision to make. We're going to buy a house. Are we going to go back to school? Are we going to have a child? Are we going to adopt a child? Are we going to do in vitro? Are we going to, how are we going to take care of the parents? When those questions are presented to the man, he's supposed to be the head. He's like, okay, Lord, what should I do? And Lord's like, the Lord's like this with popcorn. Let me see what you're going to do. Because I've given you wisdom. I've given you, no, not that. I've given you wisdom. I've given you understanding. I put people around you. Let me see what you're going to do. That's how the Lord be doing. God and the Lord be sitting up there like, Jesus be over the Lord like, Jesus be over the God like, you want some popcorn? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, get a refill.
Yeah, so that was what I meant by that. That sometimes you think the Lord's going to give you the answer and he don't be doing it right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another one of mine, my number 2 is that another illusion that I think people have, in consulting that I've seen, and I don't think I really had this one, but I've seen this a lot, that now everything is, after you get married, that everything is going to be about you and you are not there to serve. You're only there to receive.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of goes to the, I've seen people where they thought getting married to be like, oh, I got my purse. I hear these people talk about my purse. It's so irritating. I don't want to get irritated by that, but
speak on it, Bernie.
But that's the new thing now. I hear people saying online all the time, oh, I found my person or whatever. But you don't when people get married, I think they don't realize that you are there to make the other person happy.
Right.
And hopefully they're doing that for you. But a lot of people are in there for selfish, like, oh, good. Now it's all about me. They can take care of me. They could do me. I mean, pause.
No, pause. Play. Press play. Press play real hard.
Okay, we get it. Stop. So yeah, and they get in and they don't think about, that the things that they need to, like, they're there to serve and give to this person. They're only there to receive.
I was talking to this one young man, and he was in his late 20s. He was wanting to be in a relationship, but didn't have any prospects. But he was like, yeah, I kind of, I'm ready. No, he wasn't ready, but he wanted to be in a relationship, wanted to begin the process of settling down. And so he was like telling me, I said, well, what do you see yourself doing in a relationship? Like, what kind of relationship do you want? And he immediately started talking about all the things that she would do for him and all the ways that she would make him feel. I want a woman that's caring, that's, kind, that is, she's supportive, she's encouraging.
Bruh, what you gonna do?
She's this, she's that. I was like, that's great. So who are you going to be for her? He was like, oh, wow, I never thought of that.
See, they don't even think about it.
I was like, so out of all the things that you want in a marriage, the only ideas that you have are how she's going to benefit you, but you haven't considered like how you're going to benefit her. Mm-hmm. He was like, I got to get back to you on that. And he never got back to me. And
hoping he figured it out.
Was more, kind of a crystallization of some men. The myth, the illusion is that it's going to be about you, and it's going to be about what you benefit, the benefit that you have.
Yeah.
And especially with these young men that I see on these podcasts that are talking about modern women and how they're trashing modern women and how they want traditional women. They're looking at the modern, they're looking at the traditional woman, what they deem traditional woman, as the things that they do. She cooks, she cleans, she know how to take care of a house. She makes me a soft home, because it's hard out there in the world for a man, and you want to come home to a soft crib.
Y'all getting home at the same time. It's so irritating. She is rolling out too, working. If they want to go all the way back, okay, then I'm not working. Well, to a job like that,
Yeah.
9 to 5. Anyway.
Yeah. So that is a dynamic that they miss. That's the illusion that you're going to be in this soft, wonderful relationship with this woman who's so caring and nurturing, and you have no obligation to be anything other than whatever it is you want.
Just receiving all that.
Just a benefactor. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a myth.
That goes into one of mine.
Okay.
Goes into several of mine. But which one do I want to select? Oh, okay. What the phrase "marriage takes work" means. Because if somebody says to you like marriage takes work, you're like, yeah, I know. No, nigga, you don't. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
Because the work that marriage takes is your work. It's the work that is counter to what it is that you do and want to do and have done your entire life. And all the change, the work is the change that you have to make.
All the dying to self that you have to do.
Yes.
Dying to self.
And that work is, you don't know what that work is until after you get married and you realize, oh, this is not working. What I have to change something. And obviously the most obvious thing that you want change is the other person. But that's not always the case. It is sometimes the case, but it's not always the case.
Right.
You have to do a lot of changing yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't come into marriage with this pliable kind of bendable mindset,
adjusting and flexibility,
then you will be miserable.
Somebody gonna be miserable.
Yeah, you will be.
If everybody's not adjusting and shaking and moving and being flexible to what's happening.
And that was one of the things that I think I was very, I learned quickly, and it became a sort of a mantra of me. I was like, what did I say? What was my phrase? Accept it, embrace it, claim it as your own.
Yes.
Accept it, embrace it, claim it as your own.
We used to teach that.
Yeah, that was in our first boot camp curriculum.
Yeah, we used to teach that.
For those of y'all who didn't see our last video, go check it out, because we talked about like the business that we were in. Bernie and I are relationship consultants. I keep saying consultants because we're not trained therapists, even though we have done counseling, and we're not trained counselors. So we don't want to disrespect the profession of counseling and therapy to claim that we're not, but we are relationship consultants, and we ran a business for 23 years, helping couples obtain and maintain a happy, loving, trusting relationship. And so that's our background. And so when I talk about all the things that couples were going through and had to go through, that's kind of our reference, and our 25 years of being married, which is a long time.
Yeah. But that accept it, embrace it, claim it as your own was, it was like, if you got that when we were teaching that, it really helped you through whatever issues you were going through, because it made you stop trying to change the person.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we always talk about. The number one thing I think people don't do in marriage is accept the person and value who they are.
Right.
So that accepting, claim, and embracing it and claim it as your own that's the work. And it's, even though you don't feel that way, you accept it, embrace it, and claim it as your own.
And that thing was so powerful to me because Bernie was so different.
We are very different.
Yeah.
Bernie
was
the accepting and embracing and claiming it as your own that we have done over the 25 years is amazing.
It is. It's incredible. That was the Holy Spirit.
It really was. But you know what? I think that's what helped us get along so much so well the way we do, because I literally thought something was wrong with him with the way he liked it, because I'm a homebody. He likes to go, and I should have known though, because whenever you would come over my apartment, it was like you always was trying to grab me out the house,
or me being over to your apartment was me being out.
And I was happy because I'm
so
home.
she was home like, I'm out.
Right. But anyway, but the lost my train of thought.
You accept, embrace, and claim it as your own we're completely different. Let me jump in. Okay,
well, no, I think that's why we got along. I think our marriage after the first 3 months, we kind of stuck to that, and that's the thing. Some people, when we got that, we stuck to it, and we don't fall off. You can't start doing that and then go back to your old ways.
Right.
That don't ever work either. You need to stick to what you say you're going to do. So when you accept it and embrace it and claim it your own, even though if you don't understand it, you don't like it, it's like, okay, that's what that person likes. Let me accept that that's what they like or whatever, because you need to accept it and not trying to change people.
Yeah, I don't know if we explained what that is, but
you can.
It's essentially, it was something that we added to our boot camp because that's what we really found successful for us, was that whatever her beliefs were, whatever her thoughts were, whatever her preferences were, instead of me being mad because they were not my preferences, or me being upset or irritated because it wasn't what I was thinking, I had to accept that that's what they were. Hers are her plans, her ideas, her preferences, her proclivities were all hers. So I had to accept that and embrace those and not scorn them or talk down about them or resent her for them. I had to embrace them. And then the next step was I had to claim those as my own. Like, those are mine. And so what that did, though, is when the Bible talks about how to become one flesh, that was our one flesh moment. Yeah. That was this is how we're going to become one flesh. The things that are a concern for her or irritating to her, they are concerned for me and irritate me. The things that she likes and that she loves and that she has a preference for, even though I can't stand it, those are now mine.
Same.
Those are now mine, and I'm going to embrace those as my own. So what that did is that when I saw issues that would come up that would irritate her, I was sensitive to how it was going to irritate her, because I embraced her irritations as my own. Even though in my core feelings I didn't feel irritated, but I embraced her irritation, or that she would be irritated, and that's how it became. Whoa, this is good. And that's how I began to solve problems before they became problems for Bernie, even before they existed. Like, if something would happen and there would be if I would see something, I'm like, oh, she's going to be irritated at that. Okay, let me do whatever I need to do to prevent that from being a problem before it even hits Bernie, so she'll never even see it coming.
Good job, Heath.
Thank you.
You've done a good job.
Thank you. That was embracing it and claiming it as my own.
Let me rephrase. We've done a good job with doing that, because
no, that was okay. You can say I've done a good job.
No, you have done a good job, but I think we've done that for each other.
Yes.
Definitely. Over the years. Was that yours or mine?
That was
yours.
I think it was mine.
Okay, so then it's my turn. Because
yeah, that was mine.
And so this goes good into my next one, which is the reason why it's good to accept it and embrace it and claim it as your own, is because, though this may sound strange, but it's not gonna sound strange. But
say it with your chest.
What?
Say it with your chest.
Your belief system does not change. It can only be influenced to move in another direction, because it is the core of who you are. You will always reference it.
Okay.
So to me, accepting and embracing the other person and claiming it as your own, you have to do that because they have a certain belief system that they are bringing to the table that is not going to never change. It could be influenced and it's going to move, because in marriage, we know you have to compromise, because we talked about the adjusting and all that you have to do. But you come to the plate with a core belief and values of who you are, and that is where your references come from with every move and thought and thing that you may have, that the way you just move in life.
Yeah.
That reference comes from your belief system. So if you think of somebody who's not accepting the other person and embracing it and claiming that person as their own, they're like killing their belief system. That is never going anywhere.
Yeah.
That is
killing that person's belief system. Yeah.
Yeah, they're killing that person's belief system, because people can only change so much. You are who you are. this is what I tell people. If you're looking at somebody and you get ready to marry them and you can't live, you don't like what you see, literally, the behaviors, the stuff, that stuff getting on you, and you don't really like that, don't think that's going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. That is the core belief. That is the person. That is who you're marrying. None of that is going anywhere. Actually, it's going to multiply.
Mm.
Would you like to share? What do you
It's a Selah moment. It's a Selah moment. I don't think I can come over top of that.
What? Don't you have some more to say?
I mean, that was very good. You said it very well.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just be trying to say something just to have some, just because I want to say something. But that was, I have nothing.
Well, I was thinking about when, like what I just said about the person. It's so funny because the person who you see that's what you get. Okay. Bottom line, that's what you're going to get. So I was thinking about, and sometimes it's funny in marriage, sometimes that the number one thing that you see, like for example, the number one thing that I liked about Heath is that he was outgoing and he was, an extrovert. I'm an introvert. He was an extrovert. He always doing this, And and a lot of my friends, like in school, I kind of gravitate to those people because I'm a behind the scenes person. So I like, those are like my best friend is like more outgoing and, even in high school. But when we got married, that's the thing that gets on your darn nerves. It's like, yes, the most. It's like, do we always have to go somewhere? Do you always have to talk to everybody? It was like, but I used to love that when I used to see him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I saw that you see how that is what I saw.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. But that's the core of who you are.
Yeah.
So I had to accept that and embrace it and claim it as my own, which I have. I mean, it doesn't get on my nerves now. I mean, it's 25 years.
Yeah.
So
the way that you accepted that is that you allowed me to be that person.
Oh yeah.
And you didn't require me to have to, after we figured out what was going on. I mean, this ain't off the breaks. We had to figure this stuff out.
There was a lot of things too that contributed because of the way we came together as friends. I need to get some water. Okay. I feel like my mouth is clapping.
Cow, pow, pow,
sorry.
Bow, bow, bow,
I feel like I just got that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, inside joke.
It was a YouTube story that I posted. I mean, Instagram story that I posted. Go ahead, Bernie.
But I feel like a lot of the way that we came together plays into that. A lot of the stuff that we had to figure out on top of that being your kind of personality and behavior, and because of the way we came together as friends, and we didn't really date, and we didn't come together like liking each other like that, and we were really just friends, and then decided to get married. That's a whole nother story. We'll do that one day. I feel like that played into like who I was. Wait, who you were. It played into the thing that I used to like when you used to move and shake and be da-da-da-da, because we didn't have that like he mine thing.
Yeah.
And we had to learn to be like close to each other in a different
romantically
way.
Involved.
Romantically instead of platonic, because we were just friends.
Right.
That bothered me after we got married. It got on my nerves. It was like my enemy. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. So I think the way we came together played into that. Somewhat. But anyway, that was my third one on the reason on why it was good that the one before that was accept it, embrace it, and claim it as your own, because of people's belief systems do not change. They can be influenced, but they don't change. So you can't change the person. People will compromise in some way. I
was thinking about when you said influence, there was a chapter in my book where I talked about influencing people and how you do that.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to lead, here going back to being a leader again, in order to lead, you have to know how to influence them in a Christian way, a Christian values way, and not use your authority that you have as a husband and your power that you have as a man, physical power and, tone and yelling and screaming and all that stuff to bring them along to the vision that you have. And
what's that scripture? I think it's in Timothy. When you're doing all that, you can't do it in a cookie cutter way. You got to know. No. Huh?
What I don't know what scripture you're talking about.
The one about learn your wife or teach your wife,
That's
whatever,
1 Peter
to give her
3.
back. Oh, I was wrong.
Hold on. To give her back?
Well, the one about learning who your wife, you got to learn your wife so that you can present back to yourself.
Okay, so learn your wife is live with her according to understanding. That's 1 Timothy 3 and 7.
Okay, that's why I got it confused.
Give back to yourself is Ephesians 5.
Okay, so I was combining them.
We're combining this.
Exactly.
Yes.
So both of those.
Yeah. But that's good though, because it's the principles in scripture that you extract and you have to use that to persuade.
Right.
And do it in a way that is not just so dogmatic, but more so you're shepherding and leading. You're leading, especially. So here's the thing: for you,
that's how
I had to do it.
Well,
Some people may require a little bit more.
Well, that was my point.
Different approach.
In those moves that you are making, you have to make sure you're doing it in a way that is acceptable to who you are married to.
Exactly.
That's what I meant.
If you have to live with your wife according to knowledge or understanding, so that you know what way is acceptable to her.
That's my whole point.
If you
right
have
there.
a approach, if you've been to college and you've been in the military and you've learned leadership in those veins, and you try to execute that style of leadership in marriage, and it doesn't work. I'll say that, and it doesn't work. Then you will try to beat that style over your wife's head because that's your style of leadership. Instead of learning who she is according to knowledge and understanding, you apply what you know, and you don't learn something new. And then you chastise her for not yielding to what you know, which goes to my topic.
Your next one?
My next point, because transitions very nicely.
Okay.
What you learned before you got married is not sufficient. Mm-hmm. It has an expiration date. Mm-hmm. Because in that example of leadership, what you learned about being a leader that got you to the altar will not get you up the altar. It will get you up the altar, but after that, now you need to learn new skills. Yeah. You need to learn new leadership skills. You need to learn new coping skills, new patience. You need to learn all, like I said, the Holy Spirit. You think that the Holy Spirit is going to give you the answers, like, okay, how do I lead my wife? They'd be like, oh, let me know.
While you in close quarter combat, he said, "Me like,
yeah,
you'll be all right."
Yeah. Let me see how you do it.
Figure it out.
Because you learn some stuff, but what you learn, what you realize, what you will realize, and what those of you who are married do realize is that what you learned before you got married is not always applicable. It's applicable maybe like the first pick a time period. Month, week, year, 2 years. I know everything that I learned in premarital counseling ran out in year 3.
That was a good run.
It was a good run. It was a very good run.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the dudes who we was working with, I don't think it ever took, premarital counseling ever took, like by month 6, they were like, okay, I'm going to kill him.
They didn't have that stick-to-itiveness. That's what I'm talking about.
One of our clients, she said, she looked over at the candelabra, at the candlestick that she got as a wedding present, and she saw herself picking it up and hitting her husband in the head. She was like, I need to heat some Bernie. So some of that stuff in premarital counseling sticks for a period of time, but it has an expiration date.
Because you're in close quarter combat and you need more.
And the myth is that, we're good. And that, I'll figure out what work looks like. Marriage it takes work. Yeah, I know, we'll work at it. And the Holy Spirit will give me directions about how to lead my wife. Yes, he will, by not telling you anything. And he will let you figure it out and bump your head and realize what you need to strip away from yourself in order to be accommodating to your spouse, both male and female.
Yeah.
You need to strip away some things from yourself in order to be accommodating to your spouse. I heard somebody say, I think we were in premarital counseling when I heard somebody say this. They say the way that marriage is supposed to be is that if I cut off my left arm and cut off my right leg, and you cut off my left arm and my left leg, and you cut off your right arm and your right leg, and we supposed to stick side by side together, and that's how we're supposed to walk through life. But I like my right arm, my left arm, and my right leg been serving me well. So, and you feel the same way about yours,
Of course.
but there's some things that
And
you
you
have
walk
to give
too
up.
fast.
That's good. Yeah.
You walk too fast.
And you walk too slow.
Yeah, see? You
And I'm-
always, when we go somewhere, what are you doing when we get out of the car?
Waiting.
He's standing
Waiting.
all out the car this way, looking back.
What is she taking so long
But
for?
you know what's funny? This is not new. My sister, when I was younger, everybody when they got out of the car, they always be doing the same thing what he just did, waiting. Like, what is she doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting out the car. But my sister used to complain about the same thing. Like, she's so slow. She's so slow.
When I pull up into the parking lot, the parking spot.
I'm getting my purse. I'm putting things back
No,
in
you're not.
my
You're not
phone.
doing that.
I
You're
am.
not, no, you're not. When I pull up into
You
the
don't know
parking
what I'm
spot,
doing. You're
I do
standing
know.
outside the
I do
car.
know because you know why?
Why?
When I pull up into the parking lot, I put the car in park,
Yes.
and then I turn the key
Yes.
and open the door. You're still sitting there.
What? Why am I supposed to? I have to undo when you park and open the door. I'm undoing my seatbelt and getting my things.
Mm-mm.
Yes, I am.
I don't know what you may be doing it so slow that I don't see the movement.
I think that
you
might
may be
be.
like
Listen.
a sloth. Seatbelt.
Right. You ain't right. But this ain't new. My sister, when I was younger, used to complain about the same thing. It's funny.
So I used to fuss, and now I get out the car, and then I look back to see if she's coming, and I'll be like, let me just stand here, irritated, because I don't want her to feel like this is a comfortable place that she needs to leave me. Like I'm just gonna be waiting patiently. No, I'm not waiting patiently. I'm waiting impatiently. So she would hurry up. And that's
I
the
do.
compromise.
And my compromise is I try to move faster. I don't know if it's working,
It's
but
not.
I am.
It's not working.
But I don't think they could see the progress, as you can see. Anyway, what
Right.
we saying?
So what was my point?
What was your
what you learned before you got
Oh, yeah.
married was insufficient. This expiration date. So yeah, that's it for that. You need to learn, and that's low key why I went back to school and got my master's degree in organizational leadership, because I needed some new skills. I was running out of things to think about, because we had started our business. We started our business in 2000, and this was 2003 when my everything ran out. No, in 2000
that's
it
what I
ran
was gonna
out.
say.
But that's what happened. We started the business, and 3 years into it, we were like trying to grow and trying to build it and trying to expand. This was pre-internet. No, it was pre-social media.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to website, and I had a 501c3 at first, but there was so much to maintain that. So I was like, how do I do that 501c3? And like, how do I get a book? It was so much going on, and we had just bought a new house, and it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I have to fake it like I do, because I done let us here.
But that's what I was gonna say about when you said it lasts for 3 years. It was a good run, and it's a good thing that it did, because I think those 3 years was our foundation of stick-to-itiveness and adjusting and moving and flexing, and we never backed off of that adjusting. We always stuck to it and moved forward. We never like reverted back. And and a lot of times in couples that we've seen or in marriages, people, you start doing right and then you revert back. You start doing that is so irritating, because then people can't like trust you. You can't, that you're going to follow through and say what you're going to do, what you say you're going to do. So, but I think those 3 years, we've got a good foundation of like adjusting, being flexible, and then we move forward into the next phase,
And
because there's a whole bunch of darn seasons in marriage.
Yeah. And I also think that it helped that we were broke. We didn't have no money.
Oh my gosh.
We had
couldn't even buy
income, but we didn't have no
toiletries.
money because of several things that happened, like when we first got married.
We didn't have no
we
money.
didn't have no money.
I was like, I need to buy toiletries. He said, you're
Like,
going to have to wait.
You gotta wait.
Toiletries?
Toiletries,
Oh
you gotta
my
wait,
gosh.
because we have $20 in our account, and I get paid next week. We get paid next week.
We get paid.
Because we got paid on the same day.
Oh, yeah, we did we used to get paid on the same week.
the same
Then
day.
later on, it switched.
Yeah, because we
That
worked
was
in the
nice.
same place. We met at
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
I don't. You go.
don't have
'cause-
any next
no,
one?
I only
Okay.
had 3 top ones. Those are my 3.
Some of mine are related to what we've already talked about. Oh, here's one. One of the illusions is older spiritual people who have been married a long time have the answers to marital problems you encounter.
Wait, it's funny because we.
Cap.
Wait, what's that mean? No lie?
Yeah.
Cap? No lie?
Yes.
But that's
it
funny
means
because.
lie. It means lie.
Oh.
No
Oh,
cap.
that's the illusion.
No cap. Yeah, the illusion.
Oh, no cap means no lie. No, I'm not lying, right? I'm getting it confused. I know. Okay,
Cap means
you
lie.
Right. So no.
No cap means truth.
Okay, right. Got it.
So
So
I
you
say
saying cap? Oh, cause we now the older people.
We're now the older people.
Yeah, cause when we got married,
But the myth was that when the older people in our church or the older people that we knew, they had wisdom and had understanding, and we can ask them marital questions about stuff because we were in a marriage ministry, and there was a lot of older people in there.
it was a lot.
And they were struggling worse than us.
It was a little scary. Some of the things they would say because
They
were
were
like,
struggling
I'm not
worse
trying to
than
sign
us.
up. Yeah, that's kind of why we started our business because
Yeah.
a lot of people who've been married way longer than us was like, how y'all do this? How y'all do that? Or whatever.
You've been married 10 years. We've been married 6 months. Why are you asking us questions?
Yeah.
And I remember, I will never forget the oldest couple that was in the marriage ministry. We were in our 20s.
I was probably
was
in
in
my
your
early 30s.
I was in my 20s. And
He's 5 years younger than me. Anyway.
actually, I was in my 30s at this point.
Oh.
When we were in marriage ministry, the couple, the oldest couple that had been married the longest, she said, for the first 15 years, I was miserable. I was like, I'm like,
she said it with fervor.
Oh my goodness. And he
That-
said it like, and he sat there like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, then we kind of, worked out a situation. I'm like, y'all look so peaceful and happy right now. And
Yeah.
it was like, I think they were married. At that point, they had been married 40
A
something
long
years.
time. Well,
It was-
I don't know. It was a long time.
Yeah,
But that
yeah,
was like, ooh, like Homer. Oh.
yeah. I mean, I was like, good gracious. And so,
Yeah. But it's so funny because when we first got married, a lot of the people that had been married that long talk like that.
yeah.
It was
And see,
like
that's that-
they were miserable. It's not going to be happy.
Yeah.
It was like, really? Is that what's good? But it was funny because we weren't feeling that
Right.
in the beginning of our marriage, and I was like, is that coming? What's happening?
Yeah.
But it was so, and then even the guests that they brought in to talk about stuff,
Oh my.
their lives
goodness.
was worse.
Oh
It was
my
like
goodness.
it was like reality TV.
It was like,
stuff.
let's see who can come in here and talk about the worst marital situation and talk about how we use the Lord to overcome it.
Oh my! It was like reality TV overcoming stuff, and we were like, and then I remember
this is not encouraging.
It wasn't encouraging. It wasn't.
This is depressing.
And one of the couples that we were coaching or whatever at the time, They were not. They were It was premarital when we were doing premarital coaching or whatever, consulting. She went there too, and she was hearing all this stuff, and we went to a retreat, and then a speaker at a woman's retreat was saying some more reality drama, and she came to me in a panic, like, "Is this what I'm signing up for?" Whatever. I'm like, "Calm down.
Oh man.
No, I don't know that life. No, that's not what you're
Jesus.
signing up for. It does not have to be like that because some of the stuff, it was a little scary.
It was. And see,
It was a little scary.
This is what these young people who want traditional women don't know. It was miserable for them, traditional women.
Yeah.
Miserable for them, traditional women. Not all of them, but
Some of them were very miserable
very miserable.
because they had the my way men's.
They had
Men's.
that. They had that. And I won't get into why, because of power dynamics and
Just a lot of-
there's a lot of stuff that was related to what made up the dynamics of marriage back then. So those older people who had to go through that tough, and those people who stuck it out, and my parents
They
were not.
stuck it
My
out.
parents were not one of those couples.
Mm-mm.
They ended up getting divorced. They were married. I don't know how many years, but
Some
they ended up getting married. They ended up separating when I was in 8th grade.
Some people I know a couple, and they was like pastor and wife and bishop or whatever. And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm talking about children grown
Yeah.
out the house,
Yeah.
whatever, and they are like old. I think
Yeah.
maybe in their 80s, and it's like, I'm done.
I'm done.
And they got divorced.
After 42 years, you're like, I don't want to live the rest of my life with you.
And that's that.
The
and
rest
you
of your
know
life
they
is not
grew up-
going to be too long. I don't want to be with him, or I don't want to be with her.
Now you know
It's
it got to
like,
be bad if
Jesus.
you are already all up in your 70s and maybe 80s and be like, oh, I'm on a divorce. Why? I mean, just you know.
So now we're the old people
We are the
that are
old
telling
people.
younger people that, you know, this is what you should do. This is what this is how you should do it, and so forth.
But we're not doomsday. We don't be. We're not talking like miserable. You know, because the older people that we saw, they was like they talked about how they was miserable
Right.
for a long time. But I think we are.
No, but my point was that
Oh.
we are the old people now that are telling people, young folks what to do, and
how not to be miserable.
yeah, how not to be miserable. But I wonder. I guess I'm saying the jury's still out on whether what we are saying to people is like
it
what they should be
helpful?
doing. Although we are a little different because the Lord has given us the wisdom and the responsibility and the calling to do this work
Yeah.
and to represent His kingdom on earth through the execution of helping other couples obtain and maintain a happy, loving, trusting relationship. So that's kind of the mantle that is put on us to do that.
Yes.
So we can, but I don't want to be so prideful to think that, oh, everyone, all the old people, us old people now are the ones who give bad advice, but we are separate from them. We give the good advice because the Lord sent us. I don't want to be so arrogant to think that.
No. I wasn't saying that.
Because I've had to fire some people, some clients, because I wasn't helping them. And that's like at the point where we weren't helping them. At the point where we kept saying the same thing,
I can't.
and there was no change happening. I was like, you know
keep
what?
repeating.
We're not
the same thing.
We're not helping you. So we're gonna go ahead and end this because maybe you need somebody else because
Yeah.
we can't help you.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying that the other older people now are not helpful. I'm saying back in the day.
What I'm saying, the myth is that
what is
the older people
today, which is us.
Period. Yeah,
Oh.
The older people
In
are
our
the
demographic.
who's been married a long time
Uh-huh.
are the wise ones that know how to make marriage work and figure out how.
Are you
to
saying
do it.
that's cap? You say lie.
I'm saying that is a lie. The older people don't know,
Oh,
and I'm saying we are one of those older people now. Although we have been positioned by the Lord to do this work, I'm still lumping us in with those older people. Because I don't want to be so arrogant to think that all the stuff that we've shared with people has worked and is helpful.
No. It has, over the years, I can think about many people that we've tried to help. And why are you laughing?
I'm just thinking about this one couple.
But you know what the thing is?
He just could not get it at all.
I think when I used to take it personally. I think we both used to kind of take it personally when people's like, why don't they if you just do this, it'll work. But
Jesus.
We came to a conclusion that we can't be married for people.
That's right.
And
that really
God it helped me too because and
I can't be your husband for her.
Right. And I can't be the wife for And that helped me because it helped me to know that we're just here to plant seeds and to give you what will work. And if you want to pick it up and do it, it's there for you.
Yeah.
If you end up getting in a divorce, okay, that had nothing to do with what I told you to do or we told you. So, and that used to bother me when people didn't make it or they got divorced after they came or whatever. And I was like, oh, had nothing to do with me, whatever. But yeah, I get it. So I get what you're saying. Like, we're not the answer. You're the answer. You out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So subscribe. Click like.
There you go. Tell them, Bernie. Okay. Okay. So I wrote down some stuff that applied just to me.
Okay.
Just in case that we were going to go there, and we did. So I think I
wrote
talked
down some
about it.
stuff, but I already talked about it. And one of them was like,
oh, so my myth was Bernie would want to hang out with my friends once she got to know them, and I thought
we did try that.
Yeah,
though.
we did.
We
And
did try. And I tried.
So here's the thing, and it's no slight against my friends or Bernie. I thought that because I'm an extrovert and I like hanging out, that everybody likes hanging out and everybody likes doing fun things that like I do because it's fun. And if I like doing
Fun
it,
for him.
right? But if I like doing it, then obviously once she gets exposed to it, she'll like doing it, and she'll like doing it with my friends because we like doing it together. Pause.
Hey.
So I thought that she would definitely be down for it, but I did not know that it was that was an illusion of mine, or delusion of mine. I did not know that Bernie is an introvert, don't really like doing a lot of things out socially, and so that for her to actually do it was a drain and pull from her, and I did not know how deep that ran.
And
Go ahead.
your friends, some of your friends, some of your friends were like a lot like you, where were kind of rough around the edges when you first got married, and kind of insensitive the way y'all talk with each other.
Right.
That male
joning and stuff like that.
Oh gosh, all that. I don't even like being in a room around that kind of stuff because. And it's a trigger probably from high school and my brother teasing me. And, I don't want to, not that y'all were joning on me or whatever, but in my young life, I might become the subject of that thing. So I'm not trying to be around it. So It was like that banter.
Yeah.
It was like very uncomfortable for me. So it was like.
And that was just standard communique.
That's the way they talk. But
So
it was
it
like
is what it
uncomfortable for me. But my thing was like, I had wrote down, I tried to keep the same routine, and that doesn't work. Mm-hmm.
Don't do that.
No, you can't. I tried. My same routine didn't work.
Don't just fit that person into your already pre-existing schedule in life and expect to mix that marriage up like cake batter and it's going to taste like cake. Don't do that.
I think you tried that too at one point. Remember? A little bit.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with your friends and other things.
Hey, Bernie's married to me now, so now we will go out together and hang out all night
till 2 or 3 in the morning
or 4.
Now my eyes are red, and they were red 3 hours ago.
We did not know that this was what you shouldn't do until we did it and it wasn't working.
Yeah, because I was just going along.
So she was coming along me, and then her eyes around 10:30 would start to turn red, and I would like, your eyes look like the burgundy. Because
I should have been asleep 3 hours ago.
And so the thing between us was, I would look at her, I was like, you got the burgundy, and she'd be like, oh, it's like, oh well,
I'm here.
But that didn't shut me down though. I was like, we still got another 4 more hours.
We close everything whenever we go to anything. That's what we know for. Yeah. We close everything. If it's over, we helping the people clean up because we the last ones there. Yeah. Always. Yeah. Always. Yeah. But I understood that. So it was like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then see,
I realized that I shouldn't be doing that. So I stopped that.
Yeah. And I'm a morning person.
Afterwards.
He's a night owl. I'm a morning person. And he's not a morning person. So.
Right. And I know we got to hurry up because we've been going a long time.
I don't have any more.
I think I said this already. I could change Bernie into what I thought she should be. I talk about the extrovert. I thought I could change you into an extrovert like me.
Yeah.
And what I liked and stuff. And then we did the accept it, embrace it, claim it as your own.
Yeah.
And then the last one is, the Lord would lead me to find the answers to married life through the Holy Spirit alone. I think I mentioned some of that already. Yeah. But what I meant in that was, in reaching out, even though I reached out, I reached out to the older people in my community, and I realized that they didn't know. What we found was everybody who was around our age, kind of was in the same married space. And we built a community within that community. And it was like, that's our tribe. Yeah. They had words for it now. Tribe, we didn't have a tribe. It wasn't called a tribe back then. No. It was our friends.
Right. And really it was our accountability couple.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's where we gravitated to.
Yeah.
And they're like,
now let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We gotta have them on the podcast.
Oh, that would be great. They would love that. Oh, we gotta make sure and just plan it.
Yeah.
Because they don't live here in Maryland anymore.
Having an accountability couple. Woo!
That was major.
That was one of the most significant things that we did in our early marriage that established that maintained what we had established.
Yeah.
Because it was a Christian couple.
That
It was a
helped
Christian couple that was solid in their faith. They were young.
They
I
were
think Bernie's
young.
older than one of them.
I think I'm older than
both
all
of
of them. Yeah, I'm always older than everybody.
But he was a minister, and he was solid in his faith, and his wife was very, very solid in hers. And we would go over there and just hang out with them.
Till
and
2 or 3 in the morning.
2 or 3 in the morning. It was so great.
We watched all their kids grow up.
Great. Yeah.
Everybody's grown now.
And we were able to just glean and earn from them just wisdom and practical knowledge and understanding. And there were times when we had questions about marriage stuff, and I needed spiritual guidance, and I went to him, and I was like, dude, I went to him when I was considering like a job that I needed to take. It was like a big move. And I was like, what should I do? And I was like, whatever he says do, I'm going to do it. And he said do it, and I did it.
It was just good the word you used was to maintain, because it did help us maintain and grow, because it was almost like we were sitting at their feet, being around them all the time and just learning and just sucking up just how they lived and how they handled stuff, how they dealt with their kids, whatever. We just sucked all that up for many, many, many years. They actually call us their roomies today.
Because we would spend so much time over their house so late at night that it was like we were roommates.
We stayed over their house one time so late, and they had to catch a flight to go somewhere out of town, like at 4 a.m. They didn't even go to sleep. They just got dressed to go catch their flight.
Yeah.
But anyway, those were the days.
That was a good one.
Accountability couple. That was back in the day, the tribe that you had.
Everybody, y'all should get accountability couple if you are engaged or trying to get married. Definitely get accountability couple that the two of you all agree upon. Don't get the mentor that he had or the mentor that she had. Because sometimes you feel an impending bias that couple will have toward the person that they knew first. And
it should be a couple that you look up to and that are like-minded, that you want to try to like emulate
their relationship.
Right, kind of like the sermon that Pastor Battle talked about last Sunday about Hebrews and how you want to follow the people.
But definitely
ahead of you.
Definitely get accountability couple. Somebody that's in your same sphere, but has wisdom, and it's cool to hang out with. You don't want somebody that's not cool to hang out with, because it's going to be a stretch. So I
have one more, but it's a good. Okay. This is one that is that was illusion for us, for me.
Okay.
And it's a good one.
Okay.
Instead of a bad one that you come into. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then that's it. But this is a good illusion that changed. So, and it was like all the little things that were strongly irritating at the beginning of our marriage. After so many years, you think that's gonna stay like that. At the beginning, you're like, oh my God, it's so irritating. He drives fast, he blah, blah, blah. Then I don't like this, I don't like that. But those same things, after so many, it don't even bother. That irritation goes away.
And it
does not bother you that same way.
And that is the work that I talked about in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you have to change you.
Yeah.
To accept and embrace that.
And claim it as your own. Yeah, it does not.
And that's how that goes away.
There you have it. That's a good place to end.
And there you have it. So leave a comment in our comment section about what you think about some of the illusions that are had and that we had. And if you are married, let us know what some of the illusions that you guys had. Because I think, like I said, it's a community that we're of people, of couples, where you learn from one another, and having that kind of big bro, big sis put you up on game is very helpful. I guess we could be that big bro, big sis. We can be the old people that, although we kind of know what we're doing, but in our experience, some did not know what we're doing, but we know what we're doing.
Not old season. Not old season.
I said older.
Oh, I thought you said old people.
No, I said
seasoned
older people. I'm not seasoned.
I am.
Like Lowry's.
You young like still anyway.
What's Tab seasonings? But anyway,
I forgot the name of it.
We could be that mentor, mentee, or older
big brother, big sister couple
to those
Yeah.
of you who is trying to come this way, come 25 years in the game
We got you. We
and
got
still
you.
like each other and live together and play
Ooh,
games
yeah,
and go
still
travel
like
and do
each
stuff
other.
together.
Yeah, fun things.
Yeah. So if you're trying to come that way, then,
We got you.
hit us up in the comments and leave your, maybe that's could be our little thing. We the big brother, big sister, older couple that's been married. That's cool. That other people want to
I have to
emulate.
play off your cool. I'm trying to.
You have your own cool. Everybody likes you more than like me.
I don't even know why, because I'm just being myself.
That's all you need to be. So
Okay.
just keep doing that. And but yeah, so if that's something we're gonna do. And we'll do this by in keeping build a community in the comments and what we'll read them and get back to you or things that you all want to hear us talk about. Then we'll take those comments and then share them in this format here.
Mm-hmm.
As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the things. And we'll see you on the next one.
We out.
Be out.
Peace. Bye.